I am Elliot Gerson, Executive Vice President of the Aspen Institute. I'm responsible for our public programs, this is one, and also our policy programs, and several of our policy programs are the ones putting on this conference today. And a special thanks to our hosts at the arena stage for providing this absolutely wonderful space. I think most of us in this audience are probably used to watching people up here in costume, and unfortunately for most of you today, those costumes will be suits and dresses and not certainly Elizabethan garb. We launched this event in 2015, and it continues to be an extremely important one to us at the Institute. And that is because simply the economy is leaving many people behind, posing a real threat, and actually I'd say a grave threat, to the very ideals of America, and frankly even to the infrastructure and very integrity of our democracy. I think the time has never been more critical to address the complicated drivers of inequality and unequal access to opportunity in our society. It's something that Aspen's policy programs address and investigate and act on in many, many ways. And today, what is very special is that a number of our programs have collaborated to bring this program to you. And I think it's important to note that, as again, many of you are in institutions where there are probably similar circumstances. As much as our programs love to collaborate, because so many of them focus on these critical issues from slightly different perspectives, the institutional incentives, because they are supported by different funders, often make that kind of coordination and cooperation difficult as much as they'd like to. And it's really because of the far-sighted sponsors we have for programs like this that our programs are able to collaborate. But I'd like to quickly recognize those. Ida Rademacher, who together with the Prudential Foundation, frankly, is really most responsible for this event occurring again and to assure that it has a future. Maureen Conway, who runs our Economic Opportunities Program, Ann Mosley and the Ascend Program, Steve Patrick with a Forum for Community Solutions, Janet Topolsky and the Community Strategies Group, and finally Jane Wales with our Philanthropy and Social Innovation Group, although I understand Jane's not going to be able to be with us today because of continuing flight cancellations due to our storm. It's really their collective leadership on this project that's made this possible. And but let me just say one other thing there that, again, for those of you not as familiar with the Aspen Institute, some people, because we are doing more and more programs like this, public programs, bringing our conversations to larger audiences and national audience, forget that fundamentally our policy programs are focused on changing conditions on the ground in reality for families and cities and towns all across the country. And last but certainly not least, I'm very, very grateful to our supporters who have made this day possible, to the Prudential Foundation, who has supported this event since 2015, has been a committed partner in supporting the Institute's work on financial security and economic opportunity more broadly. A very big thank you, and also a huge thanks to Walmart, the Citi Foundation, the Ford Foundation, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, all of whom have been steadfast in their support of the Institute generally and for this program in particular. It's now my great pleasure to welcome Lata Reddy, who's the Vice President for Corporate Social Responsibility and also President of the Prudential Foundation. Lata.
Thank you, Elliot, and good morning, everybody. It is really great to be here for what I know will be an incredibly rich set of conversations. On behalf of all of us at Prudential, we are pleased to once again sponsor the Aspen Institute's Inequality and Opportunity Summit. As a company that has a long-standing commitment to addressing societal issues, the conversations that we'll be having really reflect the ones that we are having within Prudential. Our company was founded over 140 years ago to give working families a way to protect their financial well-being through affordable insurance. Today, our commitment to advancing society and shared success remains strong, and we continue to address the financial concerns of a world that is living longer, younger, and faster. But in these challenging times, we know that the opportunity gap is widening, especially for those in low-income and underserved communities. A central tenet of the American dream is if you work hard, you'll be able to be financially secure. You can raise a family, buy a home, start a business, and retire with dignity. But in our changing world, we know that hard work over a lifetime doesn't always equate to financial security. We know that working people are struggling. They need stable, quality jobs that are safe, pay enough to live on, and offer essential benefits. They also need access to financial tools and resources to save and build their assets, to weather financial emergencies and invest in the future. And they need to be connected to opportunity-rich communities. Now, companies like Prudential have an imperative and an opportunity to play a role in closing the gap. The imperative comes from the fact, and I'm going to quote or paraphrase Angela Blackwell from PolicyLink here, but the imperative comes from the fact that what equity really is the superior growth model. We know that to be an ongoing, viable, sustainable business, we need to have inclusive policies, practices, and products. The opportunity comes from the power of capital markets and the fact that when harnessed for good, they can create sustainable impact at scale. Our founding story has made us believers in the fact that corporations can and should do more than generate profits. They should drive progress. As a result, we have engaged with the Aspen Institute in one of our largest partnerships to date to promote broader reforms in both the financial and labor markets to create opportunities for all Americans to achieve financial stability and security. This partnership will work to bring together diverse leaders from across sectors, like all of you in this room, so that we can learn from our different experiences and backgrounds about how we can all contribute to shared success. A great example of that is this summit today. We appreciate the role that the Aspen Institute continues to play in convening and driving forward these critical conversations on complex social issues. And all of us at Prudential, for our part, are committed to putting forth our financial and human resources, human capital resources, towards promoting equal opportunity and advancing society by removing barriers to social and financial mobility for underserved families across the globe. Thank you.